Greetings, salutations, love and respect. I am Scott from the Fire Note, and you are in the Prog Corner. Right? Do you hear that theme music? I don't hear it. I don't have a theme song yet. Maybe one day. Today we are going back to the ancient year of 2020, and we're looking at the top 25 progressive rock albums from that ancient year. And you guys seem to like the 2021 list I did, so we're going to rip through the top 25. I looked at the list that I published on the Fire Note a year ago, and I've made one change, so I did pretty good. I think I nailed it. I took Kansas off, so we'll see what I added. At number 25, it is Gösta Berlings Saga with Konkrete Music, the great Nordic band with the Crimson soundscapes. Very cool record. If you don't know these guys, definitely check them out. And number 24, Gazpacho with Fireworker. These guys have been toiling in obscurity for a long time in Norway, and that record is really good, possibly their best. At number 23, Glass Hammer with Dreaming City. This was the album that signaled a change for them. 80s Rush and Tangerine Dream, soundtrack type of stuff, coexisting side by side. Very interesting record. I really liked it a lot. At number 22, Pendragon with Love Over Fear. Pendragon, I don't know how you pronounce it. I always say Pendragon, but I think it's Pendragon. Anyway, at number 21, Homonculus with Adiamo in Gira di Notte consumiamo nel Fuoco. These guys trade in Canterbury type sounds. They sing in Italian, obviously, but really cool stuff. I enjoy that record a lot. At number 20, we have Ukraine's own Karfagen with Birds of Prey. The uber prolific Anthony Kalugin. This was one of his better records. If you don't know this guy, check him out. At number 19, Pain of Salvation, Panther. Very cool record from Daniel Gildenlow and company. Dark, really great. Number 18, we have Airbag, A Day at the Beach. Kind of Radioheady. They're down to a 3-piece now, but it's just a fabulous, fabulous record. At number 17, I'm also showing it here. Oh yeah, The Tangent with Auto-Reconnaissance. Andy Tillison and company, another fine, fine record. They got a new one coming out this year. I'm excited. Songs from the Hard Shoulder, I think it's called. At number 16, the final album from Fish, Weltshmerz. The former Marillion singer, his swan song. If it is in fact his last album, what a way to go out. At number 15, Arabs and Aspect. And that is called Madness and Magic. Very cool record, chill, kind of has that California vibe to it. I love that record. At number 14, Magenta with Masters of Illusion. Magenta just put an EP out. One of their fans had died and bequeathed them a sum of money, so they were able to record a new record. But their 2020 release, Masters of Illusion, very, very good. At number 13, Lunatic Soul Through Shaded Woods. Obviously, this is the side project of Marius Duda from Riverside, and it is really, really strong. The one addition I had at number 12 is Ellesmere Wyrd. Just take a gander at that album cover. That thing deserves a vinyl release. It's just an amazing piece of artwork, and how cool would that look in a 12 by 12? This guy here, Roberto Vitelli, he enlisted some of the biggest names in Prague for this album. He got Tony Pagliuca from Leorme. He's got Thomas Bowden from the Flower Kings, Matthias Olsson from Anglagard, David Cross from King Crimson, David Jackson from Vandergraaf Generator, Steve Hackett's brother John. I can't say enough about this album. I missed it entirely in 2020. It came too late, but here it is at number 12. At number 11, Maschera di Cera, SEI. Really cool record. 3 songs. One takes up all of side 1. Side 2 is 2 shorter tracks at 10 minutes. Kind of a close to the edge template going on there. Just an incredible record. I'm down to the top 10 now, and I'm going to show vinyl examples of my top 10. How exciting is that? At number 10, the return of the Caped Crusader, his first prog album in forever, his first instrumental prog album since the 6 Wives of Henry VIII, if you can believe it. It's The Red Planet. It's Rick Wakeman. It's amazing. These were songs that were slated for a new Yes album that never materialized. Wakey's back. At number 9, this is a band I just recently started getting into, even though this is their 9th album. Lazuli, I think is how it's pronounced, from France. This is the Fantastique Involved de Dieter Bohm. It's an album about one of their fans who they seen like spacing out at a show, so they kind of created a whole concept album around him, and this is I'm a fan now. I'm a fan. At number 7, right? No, it's number 8, dummy. Number 8, it's Pattern Seeking Animals with Prehensile Tails. The Spock's Beard side project, 2nd album, every bit as good as the first album. These guys have a new one coming out in a couple of months. I'm excited. Really strong. If you don't know Pattern Seeking Animals, you should probably check them out. Now we're at number 7. Abel Gance. Can't really see this record cover too well. It's the Life of the Honeybee and Other Moments of Clarity. I've heard about these guys for a while, and I finally checked them out, and I am so glad I did. This record is smooth. It covers a lot of musical territory. And how many prog albums feature a harmonica? Not too many, I'd venture to say. Not too many. At number 6, Sweden's own The Flower Kings with Islands. This is another band that's going to be putting a new album out. Very excited. New album in March by Royal Decree. Islands was a very good record. The packaging is really cool. I enjoy it a lot. But the top 5, man, any of these top 5 could have been my number 1. Starting with Italy's Logos and Sadako e Le Mille Gru de Carta. Sadako and the Million Paper Cranes. It's the story of a Japanese girl who had radiation sickness from Hiroshima, and she was told if she folded 1,000 paper cranes in origami style that she would be cured from her sickness, and she got 600 done, and she died like 10 years later. The story's pretty famous. This album should be every bit as famous. It's unbelievably good. At number 4, Norway's Motorcycle. Oh, Motorcycle is so good. And this is the 3rd album in a trilogy. The Crucible and the Tower preceded this. All 3 are fantastic records. This might be the best of the 3. It's a double album. In the middle of it, there's a 40-minute song. So you've got side 1 with some shorter tracks, side 4 with some shorter tracks, sides 2 and 3, one big monster, and you need to hear it to believe it. These guys throw everything in the kitchen sink into what they're doing. I love Motorcycle. Their new album, Kingdom of Oblivion, came out in 2021. I didn't like it as much. Real Sabbathy, but the All Is One from Motorcycle. At number 3, a lot of people's number 1 for 2020, and we're talking about Wobbler, Dwellers of the Deep. If you know anything about modern progressive rock, you know about Wobbler. These guys kind of bring the spirit of the 70s back with their vintage instruments. Their analog-only approach has given them a lot of notice, but there's a few detractors that say they maybe hew a little too close to the classic Yes sound. I find them to be a little Yesian, but I also find a lot of Italian prog influence in their music. If Yes had a darker cousin, an evil twin, they'd probably sound a little like Wobbler. If you don't know Wobbler, what rock have you been under? At number 2, the great Neil Morse and Sola Gratia. His COVID solo album. He did this all remotely. It tells the story of the Apostle Paul. So it's kind of a follow-up to Solo Scriptura, which was about Martin Luther. This takes some of the musical themes from that earlier album, incorporates it in here, but not too much. So it just is little reminders of it being a second solo album. But man, all 5 members of the Neil Morse band are on this thing. Yeah, it's a Neil Morse solo album, but it is just dynamite. And this thing would have been my number 1 album for 2020 if it weren't for this. JPL, Jean-Pierre Louboutin, with Sapiens Part 1. I knew Nemo. I like Nemo. Nemo's a great band. All 9 of their albums are terrific. But I wasn't expecting anything along the lines of Sapiens. This album is amazing from start to finish. The first time I heard it, I fell in love with it. I still listen to it regularly. Part 2 made my list for 2021 at 7th place. Part 3 comes out in 2022. So I'm really excited that the trilogy will be finishing up. JPL Sapiens Chapter 1 is my number 1 album of 2020. I hope you enjoyed that. I just want to give a quick shout out to my subscribers in the US, in the UK, Canada, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Macedonia. Yes, North Macedonia is representing. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I am Scott from the Fire Note. We're hanging out in the Prog Corner, and I'll see you on the flip side.